Gilg Jew, Gilg J as Gilg Nerach.
Shoh Dúnis Claare na Gael is Bawaliam Shuish Altacha. My name is Robert Catin Carswell, Robert de Carslach.
Did you ever hear tell of old Bobby Bob?
This programme is a bilingual one, with part of it in the English language, as leis pert Delia G. Sachilg, and with another part of it in the Manx Gaelic, Chinyanamera, the mother tongue of Elgin Vanning, the Isle of Man. As Banachlan Durish. Well, looking to the pages of a newspaper called the Manx Liberal in Claare na Gael this time, and an unfortunate incident that took place in late October of 1843. Tan olw van Helsing a cheayrt kiaull olymugirт an wall to Mina Harker, as eschen kiaull nei, as they an kajer a Gael as pert cheayrt, the chodad, nish de chofagus de castle Dracula. Te Nod Isle and son, yes. We'll start with a jaunty, bluegrassy version of the Manx traditional song Ushtey by the band SKEEAL. Tashu Geisjach Rish Radio Vanning, Stashun and Ashun, Viscoler Scalia Mach by DILYS, Ellen Vanning.
William the closest William Glutton May Children's raging murder Gagla Pollion Sly Gulgas Ballia High Stulch time and a bridger in lay Single Lush and Melissa Gary Hagal midday the prayer Around Sun Vingyard 3 years next year The Sheracus and Nosh just a nerd William Gribba Percha and Low yes she's put and Low here As Riot Cus and Nosh Children's ball a crow here And Cus Nosh here up and Nosh Raymond ya Sun fashion all you can duck you know as you know The camel line for you J is now the driven pair As Ocean Melissa Gary Hagal midday the prayer William closest William Glutton May Children's the raging murder Gagla Pollion Sly Golgas Ballia High Stulch time and a bridger in lay Single Lush and Melissa Gary Hagal midday the prayer Around Sun Vingyard 3 years next year The Sheracus and Nosh just a nerd and William Gribba Percha and Low yes she's put there and Low here As Riot Cus and Nosh Children's ball a crow here Nush je here up and nush je Raymond ya Some fashion all you can duck you know good as you know The caval and the UJ's no like driven pair As such a Melissa Gary Hagal midday the prayer The band SKEEAL with a version of the Manx traditional song Ushtey Sweet Water in the Rough Land, about an investigation into Mullion Greba Mill. In 1804, a Douglas businessman, William Kelly, took over the running of a corn mill on the River Doo, Mullion Dooin, or Oates' Mill, and in 1807 he built a woolen mill adjacent to the corn mill.
and these became known as the Flail and Fleece United, and gave rise to the name of the village, Union Mills. Kelly's business itself actually failed, but the mills themselves continued on with their work, and we'll hear something of the new management as we go through an article which appeared in the Manx Liberal newspaper. The proprietors of the Manx Liberal were the printer, John Penrice. Well, in looking at Dorothy Wordsworth's diary, you may remember that she rendered the family name as PENAOS, like the small vessel, so perhaps it ought to be pronounced like Penrice rather than Penrice. Well, he was the printer, whilst the editor was Joseph Ritson Wallace. The first edition of the Manx Liberal appeared in September of 1836. Joseph Ritson Wallace left the partnership in 1849, but John Penrice continued to bring out the Manx Liberal until early in 1851. Son uur ren an ail gol cheayrt muche, as van mi gol rond de cor foyer, son nish ren a sneach de chit und skeben etlach as les kei fuur. Hier se dorchus, was seilje je sorgenjach, maar wis rieuw, aan her is sneachta, as wij gieren maar de berg na kaddag en sneachti, as na slongen en de gei, goil aru kummach en gurish mrein, les eidi en farbelach. Va olju ons tostig maru gromach. Limmer jane kabel, va shuttery as kreutjel, maar de berg het goil aal jane sor smedder. Remish goil cheayrt goil aal, aglen grene. Ach, esh, ren chit dou, kiaull soutjes, se chearkel shen on van mi meciado. Ren mi goil cheayrt nies smunnion, de raune shieltussen en em, J&E, as Jane Vergiach, as Jane jou esh van mi a horrel, as olju en em ne atjemach. Ve, mar de berg machunion, J sledden kiel chionich grenoil Jonathan, Jinu Fachit Jim. Now this is Lucy Burrow from North Cornwall singing her own song, The Labourer's Year, with other members of the Cornwall songwriters joining in on the chorus.
At winter's end we toiled hard and we cut the ground below. In the cold and mist and driving rain we bore the painful plough. We had last year's neck for to bring us luck and the best of seed to sow. And as the winter turned to spring, we watched the new crop grow. So, Master, fill the cider cup, let the singing time begin. For we'll plough and sow, and reap and mow, and we brought the harvest in. As the springtime brought the summer home, we all danced in the May, and busied at our labours, a-cutting fields of hay. Then the sun she dried the land so warm, and the poppies danced so gay. Soon the fields grew heavy once again for another cut of hay. So, Master, fill the cider cup, let the singing time begin. For we'll plough and sow, and reap and mow, and we brought the harvest in. Summer sneaked the autumn in with her low and golden rays. Now the glorious golden barley corn he now has numbered days. We shall go with scythes, all for to cut, to bind, and stook and dry. And Jack shall weave us this year's neck, and we all shall join the cry. So, Master, fill the cider cup, let the singing time begin. For we'll plough and sow, and reap and mow, and we brought the harvest in. As the autumn dies to winter's chill, and the leaves begin to fall, we shall go unto the hiring fairs, strong labourers one and all. Then the fields will turn and the hedges bare, just to pass the time away. And on Boxing Day we'll hunt the wren, and look forward to Plough Monday. So Master, fill the cider cup, let the singing time begin. For we'll plough and sow and reap and mow, and we've brought the harvest in.
Lucy Burrow singing about the Labourer's Year from the Cornwall Songwriters' presentation Unsung Heroes, the Lost Gardeners of Helsing, from which another song later. Son ren the floggin sneachtaí as a ché, Gael toiach der kade as gul me giet ons kiaull, der a dot mi cor mar de berge shilje ske duach jane am ren Shoh va giri cor peg day. As esh ren na kavel kruitchel na cinchla, as ren het sachel sledden aglig as mar te denje jane once pien. Gerau ieren kaie de alok de wat a dryer che. Va alem. As lje me wens Mina wien, tre ren na kummigen Jory Shoh fair, as rennet krunjige me giete mooi. Rem mi gianori, ach vina saide kuun as renny munge arm. Treve foam, goil kesmud gesenail de chor foyer, renny goil mi is renny kummel mi vai, is renny sanchirach, gurish kareid a glaas ons aaslish, choingel mor vi. Na gin. Na gin golmach, on Shoh tower souja. Now we take to the pages of the Manx Liberal now from October 1853, so at that juncture the partnership of the printer John Penrith and the editorial hand of Joseph Ritson Wallace was still in existence as the newspaper's proprietors. And perhaps we're hearing the voice of Joseph Ritson Wallace himself, taking us to an unfortunate event in the life of woolen and corn mills of the Flail and Fleece United, the Union Mills, and the headline reads, Destructive Fire and Awful Loss of Life. On Monday evening last, so that makes it the 30th of October, on Monday evening last about 7 o'clock, a fire broke out at the Union Mills, by which the cloth-weaving looms and the machinery of that establishment, together with a considerable quantity of wool, etc., were destroyed. We visited the scene of calamity on the following morning, and the report which we had previously heard, that human life had been sacrificed on this melancholy occasion, was, alas, too fearfully verified. Whistle playing of Mary BERGIN, whose playing has been described as outstanding and unequalled. And for those of you with long memories, you may remember that Mary came to Ramsey for an Cruniach in 1980 when she was playing at the Plaza. Stasiwn and Asiwn Radio Vanning, a sé Claare na Gael to the Shoh. Mish Robert Cutting Carswell, Robert a Carslach.
Ever heard tell of old Bobby Bob?
To Claare na Gael reclash na shacht and look jiggle scalia mach and cheayrt, come as imidi Claare and Radio Vanning elia. In het ego Radio Vanning as unshen de cramman eragert, as de enema Claare gedden unshen. De kleine Gael master na gieden door om de podcasten wisseren gedden naast die in het ego Radio Vanning, na trude en reich de podcast jou. Apple Podcasts, Amazon Audible, Spotify, Google Podcasts, TuneIn, na Alexa. From what we could collect from the different workmen on the premises, it appears that under the weaving rooms in the detached building, which all our readers familiar with the locality will remember stood at a short distance on the south side of the main body of the mill, were used as stores for the deposit of wool, oil, naphtha, spare machinery, etc. On the above-named evening, 2 little boys were sent to draw a can of naphtha for the supply of the lamps, from a hogshead of that highly inflammable liquid deposited as aforesaid. Perhaps from indiscretion they'd placed the light they carried too near. The consequence was the flame communicated with the cask, and the whole place was instantly in a blaze. The little fellows were alarmed, and instantly fled for assistance, and would to heaven it had fallen to our duty to record the welcome intelligence that they were unable to obtain it. Not so, however. Rem mi chin da hoek, as houds van mi jean stiach ons na soelienek, rem mi grey, achos, teer de hand aan mi goilal. As a sen, renny gera ingel njauwriech, as renny grey, goilal ma hans, krenfe goilal ma hans. Genel peger bina soutjes a kledden tail vouw, net a mish. As houds van mi ginders bun de voglenek, ren reden cor a loddag limon nis, as tammy fagen a cronjur ger a besh. Eish a trai va fisse mer. Man a rauw widen de leer a ninsiger, son ren a kummachen kade, de hei as de njachte, chit na snedda. Ach frail de kinjach chau moei jen chachel kajerik. Eish renad goil toyach der chit de vei korpach, derra man a rauw giang oiler soelen geel emson te mi fagen lesh me hoelien hien, waarom ons veel riech na 3 ren gedden ren Jonathan fagen se chamber, trevad giri korpegd en scorach egge. From Abergwine, which is, in English is known as Fishguard, but Abergwine it is. This is a recording by BOIS Y FELIN, the boys of the mill, and they're singing about the greyhound, which in Welsh is Milgi, and the song is Milgi Milgi.
Ar ben a bryn mae sgwar no gwach ar hyd y nos mae'n torri. A'i chref yn bryd a'i bola gwyn a'n hidio dim a milgi. Milgi, 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 rowch fwy o fwyd i'r milgi. Milgi, 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 rowch fwy o fwyd i'r milgi. Ac wedi redeg tipyn bach, mae'n redeg mor ofnadwy. Ac ingles lan ar llall i lawr a gwaith ffarwel i'r milgi. Milgi, 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 a'n gwaith ffarwel i'r milgi. Milgi, 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 a'n gwaith ffarwel i'r milgi. Rôl redeg spel mae'r milgi chwym a'n taimloi fod yn blino. A gwely'r efo'n swp ar lawr mewn poene mawr yn gwyngo. Milgi, 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 a'n gwaith farwel i'r milgi. Milgi, 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 a'n gwaith farwel i'r milgi. Ond dal i dweud farewell i'r Milgi. Milgi, 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 and dweud farewell i'r Milgi.
A song about a greyhound that was left in a tired heap on the ground by a sgwarnog bach, a little hare that gives it the runaround. BOIS Y FELIN and Milgi Milgi. Va ennem na cumbachan storm o leista, na súlian Gael crai, na fieglan bena, a der rai na melen len miandach. Vat munga de kinjach a vens Mina vach. As goudst an gere okje true tarstit na hi, rennad fille na raiachan ok a shina mach merori. As vat grey ons na shienan mirish bing va Jonathan Grey, de vei Milgid na vel vrahorrel, je glonnach and de jach as rauwer sugaron. Tar hurain, tar hun, tar, tar. Foa rammi chindeg as me wens Mina vach, as ren me chrie lesh boga, limmer gurish lodag. Son, ren na naal ons na sulien millishek, a fear, a skoch, inch skeel dem a chrie, va ulju benten der treis. Buis de G, geraui fos ver jousen. Ren mi goil greim je pert de foich ail, val jorm, as mischina mach pert jane allen, ren mi gol hoeksen gus an ail. Ren a tarn back rom, as renad liga mach a gera ingel grena ok. Thomas Maltby, Thomas Quayle, William Dalrymple, and James Kelly promptly rushed to the spot, the fatal spot, from whence the two former were never destined to return. Immediately on entering the room, T. Maltby, who was a partner, and T. Quayle, an old and esteemed workman in the establishment, seized the flaming cask and attempted to bear it outside the walls. Before they'd succeeded in this, the fire either communicated with the great body of the spirit through the bunghole or the burnt staves, and the whole exploded with awful violence, throwing prostrate the unfortunate men and saturating their garments with the subtle and combustible spirit. To increase the peril of the doomed ones, the air, so instantaneously rarefied by the blast, closed the doors, which opened inwards, and thus, for a period, cut off all hope of escape by flight. Now, Scottish Gaelic singer Joy Dunlop will be here for An Chúis in concert at the Peel Centenary Centre on Friday the 8th of November, with accompaniment by guitarist Ron Jappy. Tickets are £12.50. Here, Joy sings two reels.
Over you coppister. Shitter the hockey fan, fill a big spot on down. Cut the gun, just a crown, beat the golly coppister. Beat the golly coppister, beat the golly coppister, beat the golly coppister, the squire golly coppister, beat the golly coppister, beat the golly coppister, beat the golly coppister, the squire golly coppister. Sätter mig i kalem, lättar du ens batteri. Sätter mig i kalem, ger dig till den mobiken. Sätter mig i kalem, lättar du ens batteri. Sätter mig i kalem, ger dig till den mobiken. Ger till den mobiken, ger till den mobiken, ger till den mobiken, i hjärtat till den björniken. Ger till den mobiken, ger till den mobiken, ger till den mobiken, i hjärtat till den björniken. Ger till den mobiken, ger till den mobiken, ger till den mobiken, i hjärtat till den björniken. Ger till den mobiken, ger till den mobiken, ger till den mobiken, i hjärtat till den björniken. Sätter mig i kalem.
Scottish Gaelic singer Joy Dunlop singing some reels there. A workman who was outside, engaged in bearing water from the race, after some effort succeeded in forcing the doors open, when W. Dalrymple and J. Kelly, who'd been at some distance from the fatal cask at the time of the explosion, escaped, but enveloped in flames. They, with a prudence not frequently witnessed in the moment of peril, threw themselves into the river, and thus escaped the horrid fate which awaited their less fortunate friends. The flames spread so rapidly that all hope of either saving them or the building were quickly abandoned. Before 9 o'clock, the south side and east end had fallen, and the whole was a mass of burnt, black and smoking ruins, enclosing within their smouldering embrace the bodies of the two wretched sufferers. All attempts to recover the bodies during the night were rendered perilous by the tottering fragments of walls which were everywhere hanging fearfully around. Ren mi cor a foich an ail, as gerau mi goil al rumbu, a fef a fissem draush in sautje choustai je na va corishin. Gerau had able to hit fair, dus gouds van mi armit me saw, na den ven ser mina gouds vi tanachten choustai je in chargel. Na wat ish for Gael begnas moon a bod a goods and chits jack on. Van a kabel square by arsna, as vad in laig in leeltes a tolu. Van sneachte tujamoru de mila, as renna chit de venus bena. Va fissem na raus on the been bach de begelia de hatchem. As me saw renchen tanachten der ren jurge de vadran gol toiag de tujum through de gromit njaachti. Va me lag griach as goil aal, as ledden de graies as de hatchem. Ach, tre ren a grien eilen gol toiag de drappel skin orne krunje, va blauwes emrish. Eg chit toshi a vadran, ren na kummachen vier doil, jair soel, ons kadde a gei as een jaagda. music for a Breton dance, a pash-pee, and the tune was called Doub'doub, played there by the band FORZH PENAOS, twice visitors to Cruniach. They're from the northwest of Brittany, near Brest, from Plougastel Doub'las, and that was from their 2022 album Rock. Stasiwn yn asiwn ta radio fanning y si Claare na Gael wisgol ar sgeil mach cartnish, mer yn pîn Robert gyda'n Carswell, Robert y Carslach.
Have I heard tell of old Bobby Bob?
A few minutes before we reached the spot, 11 o'clock Tuesday forenoon, the workmen had succeeded in raising them from their premature but awful tomb, but so dreadfully defaced by the fire as not to retain even the semblance of humanity. Appalling as is this catastrophe, it's increased in intensity by the fact that Mr. Maltby leaves a widow and 7 helpless children, and an 8th just about to enter fatherless into this bleak, thankless and heartless world. Well, Thomas Maltby had come to the island from Leeds, and in 1830 he was married to Esther Carron. She was the daughter of the captain of the parish of Moran. Thomas Quayle wasn't married, but the Manx Liberal tells us Thomas Quayle is thus severed from an aged mother, whose whole amount of comfort and support were derived from his duty and affection. Sometime during the progress of the fire, the Sun office and town engines arrived on the spot. Ren o slongen an de gromid trú dagenach, gleisige rsoel gus a chastjel, as verkeilt a shilje. Mar kiel gin tort, as a madran chit, ren mi chindag as a wen sermina, as ve form cori for hypnosis. Ach, vi na lai und sabin down doltajum, vai na rau mi able de Ushtey. Ren mi core ber cori for hypnosis trud and savinek, ach, gerau fregert aasji, weg a chorer bi, as ren an lai brisha. Tammy golfors rosh glaciacha. Tamma ail regintem as tammy a nagan na kabil. As ulju jau maru. Jew tamu ren emriino and Shoh, as tammy frailrish furrachten der a vissa green erud. A fair for the devel boel hooksen te orm gol, ondau de be sailje shen na grenia, gede wel sniachters keik or ske duer, dus mor sausjes. Nim njartige mi heen les an Gael, as esch nim Gael en slau ma over aglach. Ten wens Mina fors na kadle, as buist de G, te kuun se sabinek. Now this is a song now by William Mulcairn, 1909 to 1991, an organist and song and hymn writer originally from Kirkmichael. Marlene and DILYS sing Song of the Manx Crofter.
Blue are the waters and green is the glen, crystal the stream in Glenmore, lovely the lane that leads down to the len, soft is the breeze on the shore, soft is the breeze on the shore. Warm are the wavelets caressing the sands, crimson the sun in the west. Surely our isle is the fairest of lands. Here is a haven of rest. Here is a haven of rest. Soon the wild paths of the sea
Marlene Masker and DILYS with their version of William Mulcairn's Song of the Manx Crofter, arranged for them by Mavis Kelly. Whether the fire engines were in time to rescue anything, we've not the means of knowing, but we can bear witness to the fact that not a square inch of combustible material remained on the spot when we saw it. The old villainous compound of brass, wood and iron, known by the name of the town engine, the thing which interrupts the entrance to the Douglas courthouse, arrived just in time to do exactly what it's capable of doing, that is, nothing. So that's the way they finished off there, rather scathing of the attentions of the town engine, the Douglas borough. I suppose it wasn't a borough in those days, but Douglas town fire engine. And so the partner in the mills, Thomas Maltby, and the long-time workman, Thomas Quayle, were both killed in this explosion and fire, but what are the other two partners, James Kelly and William Dalrymple? Well, the Manx Liberal tells us that, under the careful treatment of Dr. Sale, poor J. Kelly, horribly scathed as he'd been, is likely to survive, and W. Dalrymple may fairly be pronounced out of danger. Jorla Jonathan Harker and Cherula mi hauna faster beg. Ten droch hachert en bed ad jouwer wei rid atjemach dun. Bei shen vechen berchten a wede voor de henne. Es ljorisch nisch, weg me wien na ser. Tammy Gael aal rosh smuljanori. Soel en riest fagest en vol grain oil shen. Ta kabelein as ta shen chi cheayrt a lorg. Tammy screw she Shoh, chaus de godal ming januaru. Ten a wappen an ein. Signed an Jgani Gael Carel mo visse fau kaga. Oh, der ou Morris is Seward meren. Ga not mo jach trestjel. Maar a wel mi skriw weg elia, slednjat wiener, de banny giu is de railroad. Gilen en early Seward en chwegulai mi hauna. Ega badran honig sin shejacht na shizgani seidige soel wain njawin as nen leiterwagen ook. Wat krunjach me giet de mushels podden, as we dris oru golrumbu, maar de beg het guller saige her. And now another song from the Cornwall songwriters' Unsung Heroes, the Lost Gardeners of Helsing. This is Roger Bryant with his song Gardens of Life.
God in his wisdom decided that we should be born in the garden, and there we would be, given the fruits and the flowers of the tree, as we wander through the gardens of life. Sing his praise all your days, for he'll be your comfort in so many ways. Let him keep you and feed you through the battle and strife, as we meet on our journey through the gardens of life. As children we were left in the garden to grow, in the love of our God, his goodness to know, as he watched over us in his kingdom below, as we wander through the gardens of life. Sing his praise all your days, for he'll give you comfort in so many ways. Let him keep you and feed you through the battle and strife, as we meet on our journey through the gardens of life. Then as we grew up, temptations to find, when we strayed from the path and our vision grew blind, he would lead us once more back to caring and kind, as we wander through the gardens of life. Sing his praise all your days, for he'll give you comfort in so many ways. Let him keep you and feed you through the battle and strife, as we meet on our journey through the gardens of life. Though the battle was fierce and so many would die, and some have been called for to serve him on high, we shall all share the glory in the sweet by and by, as we wander through the gardens of life. Sing his praise all your days, for he'll give you comfort in so many ways. Let it keep you and feed you through the battle and strife, as we meet on our journey through the gardens of life. Sing his praise all your days, for he'll give you comfort in so many ways. Let him keep you and feed you through the battle and strife, as we meet on our journey through the gardens of life.
Roger Bryant and the Cornwall Songwriters, and Roger's song drawing very much on the Cornish Methodist tradition, Gardens of Life, and that was a piece from their Unsung Heroes, which trace the fate of many of the gardeners of the Gardens of Helsing who went off to the First World War. Tan sneach de tuism de hedrum, as de must there new chadjens an air. Fuddy de velle na henjach den ein heen, ach, squacht an lag chries. For the voin, tammy clashen the gullerny J. Maudie older. Tan sneach de cororu chit noos van a slagen, as de gowan or a mulju vai dag chow. Tan a kabel bunnes erlu, as bimmage your souldelia. Tashin markiach, gus bes pechenjach. Ta fis sinrigen eg G quai, na cred, na kirid, na cune, na nacht, fuddy vishen. The woolen mill, the sign of the fleece, was to continue until 1891, and the corn mill, the flail, until 1924, after being rebuilt following this dreadful explosion and fire, which took place on the 30th of October 1843. As Masaw Shene in just a few minutes, Chris Pearson will be here to bring you 2 hours of the best in chill-out music for your Sunday evening from 7 till 9 o'clock. And at 9 o'clock it'll be time for Sundown with Judith Leigh. We close Claare Gael with the accordion of Martin Tourish and the bouzouki of Luke Ward, who make up the duo Clan Ranald, joined on bass by Terry McGinty. Ach sin matei tashin corcion a Claire Cartnish as Masaw. Until the next time then, this is Robert Cutting Carswell, Robert a Carslach.
Oh, Bobby Bob.
Wishing you a very good night. Eve I'm a crieriolju, as ortserlier, as me yeri and shared you.